After consistently robbing the bank with our 100% canvas algorithm, we at Unprofessional Breakdown, brought to you by BetOnline, are taking our investment portfolio to the UK. And not only are we going to bring our mathematical scientific betting protocol, but before we leave, we're going to fuel our brains with 2 bags of Dorito and a healthy breakfast, aka Chip Chip Cheerio. But before that, we have a lot of money to make. Let's go. First fight. Story time. I recently received a raven from the FBI saying I'm being investigated for making you guys way too much money. And according to my maester, he says I need to cut it out. So for the first time in Unprofessional Breakdown history, I'm not going to tell you guys to bet on Unprofessional Breakdown Gold Market Account Bisbin. Instead, I'm going to tell you to parlay Unprofessional Breakdown Gold Market Account Bisbin and Unprofessional Breakdown Gold Ronda Rousey, who, spoiler alert, is fighting next, in our most unprecedented money-making, economy-breaking wager that we've ever made. Bet no less than $33 million. And after we've made our money, I'm going to ask you to donate a conservative 98% back to me so I can lawyer up. Next fight. Chris Duncan versus Yano Ashmals. Fun fact, Yano Ashmals made his debut on the last UK card where he knocked out the UK's Sam Patterson, which we correctly predicted since he was represented by Market Account Bisbin. After you watch this video, go back and give that video a watch too. But after spending countless seconds on researching Chris Duncan, I found out that he's from Scotland, which also happens to be a part of the UK. Let me know that they're looking for some good old-fashioned get back. So I'm going with Chris Duncan. Next fight. Ketlen Vieira versus Penny Kianzad. Women's bantamweight number 4 versus number 6, which tells me how we're going to make money. Ketlen Vieira's nickname is Phenomenal. That's right. 4 syllables, just like her ranking. While Penny, her nickname is Banzai. 2 syllables. Let me know that she's looking to advance in the division, while Ketlen Vieira is happy being just where she's at. So I'm going with Penny Kianzad. Next fight. Mahmoud Muradov versus Brian Barberina at middleweight. Now, as much as I love the great American hero Brian Bam Bam Barberina, not only is he moving up to middleweight, but he's also fighting a I may be white, I may be Asian guy from a country ending in Stan. Say it with me. That guy's not losing. Next fight. Mick Parkin versus Jamal Puegas. Now, Mick's picture is gray. And if you've ever played any fighting game, you would know that means this character hasn't been unlocked yet. So don't waste your time betting. This fight's not going to happen. Next fight. My African brother, Mark Diakese versus Joel Alvarez. Now, Mark Diakese's nickname is Bone Crusher for his dynamic striking style. But Mark Diakese also has a very underrated mythical form that you guys don't talk about. This is when he puts on his double knee pads and becomes Mark D1 Akese, and then he's guaranteed to win a unanimous decision. So for the first time in Unprofessional Breakdown history, we're going to wait until he walks out for the fight. If you see anything resemble double knee pads, load the boat. Next fight. Now, how can the FBI be mad at us when UFC.com keeps giving spoilers and expecting us not to load the boat? So as you guys already know, if you've ever played any story mode of any video game, you will know a black and white picture means you've already beaten that stage of the campaign. So how about instead of investigating us, you find out who keeps posting these on UFC.com and leave us alone so we can make our money. We're going with Danny Roberts. Next fight. The matchup to Jack Hermansson's Machamp, Davey Grant, is, I'm going to keep this one short. Until I see both of them in the same room, I'm always going to pick bantamweight Jack Hermansson. Next fight. A fun one at featherweight. LeRon Murphy from the UK versus Josh Calabo from Australia. That's right. A Ennett versus a Crikey. Now, If you've purchased Unprofessional Breakdown Volume 3 and you read Chapter 16, Subsection 4, you already know our protocol when it comes to betting with white guys named Josh. But this Josh isn't white, and because of that, I once underestimated him in the past, resorting to us only making about $3 million that night. Now that's a mistake I refuse to ever make again, so I'm going with Josh Calabo. Next fight. Jai, the Brown Country banger Herbert, is looking to bang Faraz Zahim into submission, or a knockout, or a decision. One way or the other, he's looking to do some banging. And since I can't think of anything more terrifying than preparing for someone that's trying to do that to me, I'm going with Jai Herbert. Next fight. Paul Craig versus Andre Munoz. Middleweights number 9 versus number 14. Which tells me how we're going to make some money. Paul Craig's nickname is the Bear Jew. There's no way you think I'm crazy enough to make that joke. Next fight. Nathaniel Wood versus Andre Philly. Pay attention. I don't want to lose you. Nathaniel Wood was born in 1993. While Andre Philly, he was born in 1990. Which makes things pretty interesting. Because to obtain, something of equal value must be lost. And I don't know if you've been paying attention, but since these two outcomes are already subjugated by two different phylloids, the outcome to this has already been perturbed. Next fight. Kind of like Patty, except she's a daddy. Molly Meatball McCann versus Julija Stoliarenko, who I can't tell you enough about. And since I know you guys are already tired of everybody raving about this co-main event, I'm just going to move on to the main event so I don't waste your time. Next fight. Here we are at our main event. Tom Aspinall versus Rafael Fiziev, who's been doing a lot of eating since this fight is at heavyweight. And if you paid attention to art class, that is 4 weight classes higher than his regular lightweight. Now, as bad as I feel for Tom Aspinall, since he's the one that asked for this UK card in the first place, the swift quickness that's going to come from a lightweight moving all the way up to heavyweight is going to be way too much for him to overcome. So I'm going Rafael Fiziev, and that's it. UFC Fight Night, Aspinall versus Fiziev, Saturday, July 22 at the O2 Arena, London, United Kingdom. Good luck with your picks.